Hello everyone and welcome to Flickering Myth TV, an extension of the website flickeringmyth.com. My name's EJ Marino and today we are diving in to a brand new review of Jumanji, The Next Level. If I would have recorded this review for Jumanji The Next Level right after the screening let out, I would have had a way different review. But having a couple hours to sit and think about this movie, really process it, I still don't love it, but my feelings about it aren't as mean and just going, well, it's not for me, because this movie is not for me. The jokes didn't connect with me, the actors don't connect with me, the entire premise isn't for me. But that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. If I go around the audience around me, it's a great movie because they really loved it. Now, my review, I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I don't think this is a bad movie. I don't think this is a great movie. It's a perfectly fine movie. But for over 2 hours, I was expecting a lot more than just, that was okay. So Jumanji The Next Level follows the story that was set up in the 2017 Jumanji film. Now, I'm surprised that this has become a franchise. I'm a fan of the original back in the 90s. I didn't really love the 2017 edition. Was it the actors I didn't connect with? Was it the whole video game atmosphere that I wasn't really vibing with? Well, it's kind of both of those, and that doesn't really change here. It's still the same premise, still the same cast. But I think this one has a little bit more humor to use. There's a lot more, let's say, players in this game that really makes the story a little bit more fleshed out. We have the additions of Danny DeVito, Danny Glover, and also Awkwafina. All three of them really add something to this film, and I have to say, I really love those three additions. Now, do I still love, the younger cast that we see, that has Alex Wolff in it and stuff like that? No, don't really vibe with them. Do I love the, AI avatar characters with, Karen Gillan and Dwayne? No, and that's kind of the biggest problem is I don't find any of these characters very entertaining. They're all super one-dimensional, and I know they're playing video game characters, but to experience one-dimensional characters for over 2 hours, it gets a little tiresome. I was pretty bored of this movie after the first couple jokes, because they just repeat themselves. Oh, that one is a language guy. Oh, that one's allergic to cake. It's just a lot of those same things that I'm over and over. You can only go so far with it, and that's what really upsets me is that this movie shouldn't be boring. Now, I think everyone else was a little bit bored as well. That theater I was in was getting a bit restless, so that's not just me. I think this movie is way too long, and everyone can agree on that. Something else people can agree on is how great Kevin Hart is in this movie. Yes, I said how great Kevin Hart is in this movie because he was one of the most laugh out loud actors in this entire film. I'm not going to give you too much about the spoilers of this. If you know the premise, you know what's going on. But Kevin Hart gets to play the Danny Glover live action character into the video game version, which is Kevin Hart. It is so funny. Watching Kevin Hart do Danny Glover's impersonations for half the movie was amazing. It was the most chill Kevin Hart has ever been. If you just know him as that loud, over-the-top actor who's just bouncing across the walls, you're really gonna like him here because he plays a new character. Same thing with Dwayne Johnson. He's being kind of controlled by Danny DeVito for a little bit of the movie, and that allows Dwayne Johnson to stretch himself a little bit with his weird accent, with some of his mannerisms. Now, I think Awkwafina plays Danny DeVito a little bit better. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about her in her own little section. But overall, I was just really impressed to see Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, two of my biggest, complaints with the first movie, were allowed to stretch themselves here. Still don't particularly love them, especially when they slip back into some old tropes that they do. But for the beginning of this movie, I was really vibing on those two, and I'm surprised by that. I said I was going to give her a shout out, so here it is. Oh my gosh, Awkwafina, amazing work here. Her physical acting when she gets to play the Danny DeVito character is amazing. Her comedy chops are still there. Her physicality, she's going to be a star. I saw her in a movie this year called The Farewell, which was such an emotional drama, and she really did well. And I've heard she's playing Scuttle in The New Little Mermaid. I just love just seeing her get these chances because what she did here is amazing. And when everyone's like, well, I haven't seen her in something yet. No, watch stuff like The Farewell and watch her small role here, and you'll understand why Awkwafina is going to be a force in this industry. She's so good. The way she acts with everyone, Nick Jonas, Karen Gillan, I just loved seeing her in this film, and she really added something new to it. I hope if they do a Jumanji 4, I was going to say 3, but 3 in this new one's 4 in total. I hope to see her come back because she was such a great addition. Yeah, I talked about a Jumanji 4 because this movie really does feel like a setup for another film. As much as this works on a entertaining surface level, you can have a couple laughs, the set pieces are interesting. I don't think any of the set pieces are that amazing because there's no stakes. I don't think any of the characters are going to die. It definitely feels like a kid's movie in that aspect, but what this movie really feels like is a stepping stone for another film. I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end of this, but they're definitely hinting at another film in this franchise, Jumanji franchise. Those are crazy words to say, but yeah, I am kind of amazed that they were that bold to like really go, oh, we're doing another movie, and I don't care if you like it or not. And yeah, I don't really like it, but hey, have fun with it, because I see this movie making a lot of money. These type of bland family comedy movies work really well. As much as I don't personally connect with it, I can see this movie making $1 billion because that's just the kind of like overall fun it has. There's nothing challenging in this movie. The jokes are like raunchy, but not too raunchy. The action's there. It's good for the whole family. I can see this being a family film over the holidays. Okay, Star Wars and cats, you might want to watch out for Jumanji The Next Level. If you liked 2017's Jumanji, you're probably going to have a good time with this because this is more of the same. That's kind of a compliment, and that's kind of a shade to this movie, is it could have been a little bit more. Could have been more over the top. They could have done way more with the premise and the idea of this, but they kind of just did more of the same. Now, if you like that, like I said, you're going to enjoy this movie, so I would give this a light recommendation. This isn't a run out and go see it. This is perfect if you're like on an airplane, Sunday like morning on HBO, one of those. This isn't a run out and see it, but there's still something of merit here, so I say this isn't a complete miss, but this isn't a complete run out and see it. It's just a meh time. That is it for my review of Jumanji The Next Level. What did you think of this review? What do you think of Jumanji? Are you interested in this new film? Did you like the 2017 version? Tell me how much you love that Robin Williams version. Let's talk down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week, and give us a thumbs up because YouTube takes those way too seriously. Alright guys, let's talk about Jumanji down below.